Greetings and salutations, my friends. Welcome back to the Ramble. Today, just want to talk a little bit about E3 and just a couple of the things that really sort of stood out to me, really. I don't want to go into... I was going to make a sort of big rundown video of E3 and stuff, but then I realised there's 6 million of those on YouTube. So I thought I'd just talk about the streams that we did and also my sort of best and worst moment. Hello, Bethesda. So it was I enjoyed E3. I thought, as an E3, no Sony, obviously, thought it was a bit of shit. I thought trouble is we're kind of in that transition period, especially with the consoles, where the Xbox conference, they sort of talked about a lot of games and they showed cinematics for a lot of games, but at the end of the day, some of those games, a lot of those games, aren't going to be coming out until they're going to be coming out on the new Xbox. So they're not ready to show gameplay of the new Xbox. So there was just a lot of cinematics in the whole of E3. The new Xbox looks nice. I liked the amount of buzzwords they Googled to just sort of throw into their thing. I liked the fact I've got dog hair in my nose. I didn't like the fact I've got dog hair. I've just got dog. I liked the fact they talked about SSDs as if they were this brand new invention and haven't been around for like 15 years, which was cool. My favourite moment of all the conference was obviously...
Welcome, Keanu Reeves.
It was so good. He's breathtaking.
You're breathtaking.
I thought it was brilliant. I thought it was a clever reveal. And the best bit about it wasn't like here's a famous person we got in our game to do a few lines. Apparently he's like a really important character and is in a ton of the game and sort of leads you around and stuff. So that's fantastic. Cyberpunk looks great, but again, still no gameplay, but I think we've probably seen enough of it. Now I'm going to talk about my worst moment of E3. There wasn't much cringe. People talked about the Just Dance number. It's not bad. It's silly fun. You've got to embrace the cringe at E3, and that's fine. My worst moment was probably Bethesda, just in general. People saying, well done, Todd Howard, for apologising for your game being shit. He didn't apologise at all. He went...
Great to see everybody. We have had an incredibly exciting year at Bethesda Game Studios. Given some of that excitement, impressed you're still here.
That's not an apology. If you cheat on your girlfriend and then said that, I don't think it would work. So he didn't apologise. He made reference to the fact they made a shit game, Fallout 76. And then they announced... Not only did they announce a Battle Royale mode for Fallout 76, which they must have known that as soon as they said that, people were going to they were going to be the butt of a lot of jokes. Because it's kind of seen, Battle Royale's really popular. The fact of the matter is, Battle Royale is really popular, so I'm sure a lot of people will play it and stuff. But it's kind of seen as a sort of desperation move. There's been lots of game developers who have tried to build a Battle Royale mode to sort of jump on the bandwagon. And for them to do that is hilarious. And the other thing... If you've played other Fallouts, you'll know that questing and story have been important parts, and those sort of dialogue options you have when you talk to NPCs have been a big part of Fallout games. In Fallout 76, they decided to do away with all that. Take all the best bits out of your game. That's what I think is a good idea. And they decided that they would have... the real people are the only people left in the world, and they were adamant on that they didn't want to have human NPCs. All the sort of story draft stuff was just found on like tapes and recordings and stuff like that. Really shit way to do it. And that's the aim of the game. They didn't want to go down that route, and then obviously it wasn't popular enough, so they introduced human NPCs with quests and dialogue and stuff like that, and it just felt a little bit sad. The only good things that came out of Bethesda were the two games that aren't actually Bethesda. They're just, is it Deathloop and the other one that looks quite interesting. I was surprised Bethesda went this year, to be honest. I guess if they just didn't turn up for a year, then they would be the butt of more jokes. But the fact is, people love Bethesda because of Fallout and Elder Scrolls, and I know they said this before the conference just to sort of preempt everybody, but all they said about those two games was, yeah, just so you know, we're making them. And I think the biggest single worry for me is if you look at Fallout 76, okay, it looks quite dated, okay? It looks, forgetting all the bugs and stuff, the millions of bugs that were in that game at launch, it looked really dated for its time. And the new Elder Scrolls, they have already said, is going to be on the same engine. Now, you can update game engines to be better and stuff, but only to a certain point. You can only bolt so much new stuff before it becomes just a horrible mess that you have to do it. And if you look at Fallout 76 compared to the previous Fallout, there's not really much of an improvement. And the worrying thing is, not only is the new Elder Scrolls, going to be on the same engine, we were trying to work this out in chat. The reason why there's no Elder Scrolls at the moment is because Elder Scrolls Online exists, right? Which I've been playing a bit of and quite enjoying. But their next game is Starfield, okay, which is also in the same engine, by the way. But they haven't even shown any gameplay, nothing. They've just shown like the logo and a horizon stuff. There's nothing on that game, so there's no way that that's coming out this year. Maybe not even next year. If it is next year, it's right at the back end of 2020, right? So therefore, Starfield's coming out in, let's say, a year and a half, 2 years' time. That means the Elder Scrolls is a minimum of 3 years away, with the same engine that looked very dated a year ago, which I think is a scary thought for Elder Scrolls fans. I know, maybe graphics aren't the most important thing and stuff, and that's fine. It doesn't have to have the best graphics in the world, but then when it's bad, you notice it. And that really scares me, the fact it's going to be the same game engine and it's not going to be released for maybe 4 years is scary. But they were sort of my main highlights. The best highlight for me, because I thought overall the conferences were a bit of a letdown, to be honest. The main thing for me was hanging out with you guys in chat. It's one of my favourite things to do every year is I do a stream. You can go watch them if you haven't already. I stream all the sort of major conferences that I'm looking forward to. And we had a few hundred people in each stream. And it was just hanging out with me mates. It was like I'd invited you all round to watch TV and we'd watched E3 together. That's by far the best bit. It's one of my favourite parts of the year. I was knackered because the streams are all weird times. Like the first one's at 6 p.m. and then the next one's at 10 p.m. and then the next one is 2 a.m. the next morning. So it kind of screws you over a little bit. But I really, really enjoyed it. And I wanted to say thank you to everyone that did come along to the streams and stuff and hang out with me. We had a right laugh and making fun of silly developers and bad games and stuff like that. And there was a few good games in there, but there was lots of games that aren't going to be out for a year. There was very few games, other than maybe sort of Doom Eternal and a couple of others which we've known about, they're actually coming out this year, which is a little bit disturbing. And I think just generally as E3 as a thing is becoming less and less. Obviously Nintendo do their Nintendo Direct, Sony now do their own thing. And I'm wondering if eventually we'll get to the point where the big guys just do their own thing. Because the trouble with doing a conference when all the other game developers in the world are also doing a conference is you're fighting for space on websites and YouTube channels and stuff like that. Whereas if you just have your conference in the middle of nowhere and nothing's going on in the middle of February, then you're likely to get a lot more press and a lot more interest in your games. So hopefully it's not. I really would like to go to E3 one year. I know that does mean I have to spend time with real human beings, but I'm willing to take it so I can go and see an E3, maybe before it dies or whatever. But let me know in the comments what game you're most looking forward to, however far away that may be. I think the other bit of real good news, especially for us #PC Master Race people, is that the Game Pass is coming to the PC, which FM19 was on the Game Pass. They showed Football Manager at an E3. It was amazing. I was like a proud dad. it was brilliant to see FM19. It's like $15 and you get Xbox Live Gold, the Game Pass for PC and console. The amount of free games you get and what the games those are going to be different from the Xbox to the PC. So we'll see what sort of value it comes. But it's a solid addition. And also, another thing, they talked a little bit more about xCloud for the Microsoft Xbox because they love an X. And also just streaming games in general seems to be a really big push probably in the next couple of years. So hopefully the technology works because that'll allow you guys that don't have, you have a laptop that's not capable of playing the new Football Manager or whatever. And now if you've got a good internet connection, you will be able to play them on your console or on your telly or on your laptop or your mobile phone. So I think that's really, really good stuff. I think that'd be very interesting to do. And also the biggest news, obviously, there's the Gears of War thing. There's a new Gears of War. I didn't know they still made Gears of War, to be honest. It feels like the same game. It's weird, that. Right, there we go, my friends. Let me know what you thought of the conferences below. Let me know what you're most excited for, your cringiest moment and all that good stuff. And I'll check you out next time. Bye-bye.